So I just wanted to start out by saying it was truly one of the great honors of my life when I was contacted by the Office of Patient Experience. They asked me to come address the staff on this grand occasion and just talk a little bit about my experience as a patient, as a member of the advisory committee, and talk about how excited I am for this new building. So to really understand my journey to Michigan medicine, you've got to go back to the summer of 1997. I was a crazy 15-year-old kid who had dreams of becoming a chef or professional wrestler. Don't laugh, because I'm telling the truth. But, I was having fun chasing girls and hanging out with my buddies. Then life changed in an instant for me when I broke my neck in a diving accident on the Rifle River that left me paralyzed from the shoulders down. Immediately after my accident, I was taken to St. Mary's Hospital in Saginaw, Michigan, where they performed a spinal fusion on my third and fourth cervical vertebrae, and also a tracheotomy that had me hooked up to a ventilator for a year. After 2 weeks in Saginaw, I finally got transferred to Mott Children's Hospital in what was then called the University of Michigan Health System. I was recently reminded, don't call us that anymore. We're Michigan Medicine. But anyway, shortly into my stay there, I was introduced to an interdisciplinary team of nurses, CNAs, physical, occupational, recreational, and respiratory therapists, rehab engineers, and doctors who would change my life. They would pour their knowledge and time into me and give me hope for a fulfilling and happy life despite my new circumstances. This wonderful staff also went out of the way to accommodate the hundreds of visitors who made the hour trip from my hometown in Clio because they recognized the crucial role that social support plays in the healing process. And over time, that 2.5 months that I spent in rehab, the staff that I worked with on a daily basis ceased being just health professionals that I was spending time with and turned into family and friends. And the legacy kind of lives on in their influence in my life and in my pursuit of higher education and the career choices that I've made. And most importantly, their legacy lives on in the two people who have taken care of me in the 22 years since, who are really responsible for my health, my happiness, and much of my success, and that's my parents. Now, they didn't just happen to know how to take care of a quadriplegic. The staff here at the hospital invested countless hours in training them how to take care of wheelchairs, skin care, bowel and bladder management, and the countless other things that are required to keep a quadriplegic healthy. So they did just an amazing job. And the wonderful experience I had here made me realize that anytime I experienced any kind of health crisis, the place I needed to be was right here in Ann Arbor at Michigan Medicine. And then just a couple years back, I had a friend who invited me to come down and be trained to be a peer mentor here at the hospital. That was the first time I encountered the Office of Patient Experience. And after getting to know the staff a little bit, they asked me if I could join this new patient advisory committee for a new building that they were putting together. Think of us as kind of the Avengers for the patient experience team, only our superpowers were we had survived spinal cord injuries, cancer, organ transplants, and cancer, and we had all received our treatment right here in Ann Arbor. And we were all excited to contribute. We had our first meeting just 2 or 3 years back, and I was so impressed by the hospital administrators, staff, engineers, and all the different staff members who sincerely listened to all of our concerns, whether it was room space, privacy, accessibility, technology, or accommodations for our family. They all opened their ears and showed that they cared and took everything we had to say into consideration. So 2 years later, this past summer, when I had an opportunity to visit the mock-up design and look at the blueprint, I was blown away by what I saw. Kind of thought to myself, I should have waited 22 years to break my neck. Because as impressive as Mott Children's Hospital was back then, I was really blown away by what I saw here. So I'm really happy with what is about to come, not just because it's going to be what we call the leaders and the best, it's going to be the future of care in this country, but I'm so happy because it's going to change lives. And now, in closing, I feel like I'd be irresponsible to say, as excited as I am for this new building, because it's really going to be a great thing. I look out at this sea of faces and I look at the staff, and I have to say, what's always brought me back and my affinity for Michigan medicine has never been about the building. It has always been about the quality of care that I've received. And though you may not hear it very often, you are the #1 asset of Michigan medicine. Because I learned as a patient, and with just the work I'm doing now, no matter where you're at, you can be serving overseas, you can be in an old hospital, or you can be in the state-of-the-art building. When a competent professional enters a building, when they enter a room, when they listen and they show that they care, walls disappear and healing begins. So thank you for your time. Thank you for all that you do, and go blue.